Do you feel like your circumstances are just not something you can move past? Has something happened in your 3D reality that has made you question whether or not you can still get your manifestation? Or maybe you just have tons of obstacles in front of you that are stopping you from taking that leap and being sure that your circumstances are movable and you can still get your desire. Well, threat not, because in this video, I'm going to be helping you understand why your circumstances don't matter and how you can still get your manifestation no matter what is in front of you. But before we get into that, to those of you who are new here, howdy, my name is Matthew and I am a manifestation coach. I have helped many people create some amazing things in their lives. So ask yourself, would you like some additional help getting some amazing things in yours? If the answer to that is yes, down below in the comment section and the description is the link to my Linktree, where you'll find the links to my website where I offer one-to-one coaching and the links to my membership where I offer tons of exclusive videos, free worksheets and tons of bits like that for as little as £6 per month. So once you've watched this video, I highly recommend you go check those two out because they're going to be game changing for you. If you could drop me a like and a comment on this video just to let me know if you like this kind of content going forward, and when you subscribe to the channel, be sure to click that bell icon so you don't miss any future life-changing videos. I look forward to seeing all your lovely comments, those of you who join the membership and those of you who come to coaching. Now into this video. I just want to quickly apologize that the visuals aren't as good as they would normally be in terms of lighting and such. Usually I record my videos on a Monday during the day where I'd have natural lighting, but due to being extremely busy over the past couple of days, it's now Tuesday evening and I need to get this recording done for the video to go live tomorrow. So hopefully the quality of what I'm about to talk about is going to help you be okay with how the visuals are of this video. But let's jump into it anyway. We don't need to go into all of that. In order for me to explain why your circumstances don't matter, I first want to explain what your reality is or how it's created. Now, I'm not going to go in huge detail because that's a video that could probably take half an hour on its own. But just to give you a brief explanation, what is your reality? Well, your reality is an amalgamation of your dominant thoughts, and assumptions passed on from your conscious mind, the side of you that does calculus, the side of you that stresses, that thinks, that plans, onto your subconscious mind, the side of you that does your reality creating, the side of you that stores core beliefs and natural reactions to things and such like that, to which your subconscious mind then gets to work creating your reality with. So in very simplified terms, your conscious mind, through dominant thoughts and assumptions, passes this information onto your subconscious mind. It's been compared to the idea of impregnation. Your conscious mind impregnates your subconscious mind with this story. Whether or not you want to be that grotesque about it is entirely up to you, but that's what I've heard it referred to. And your subconscious mind, for want of a better term, connects to this spiritual Wi-Fi known as consciousness, which is what connects us to everything else and connects us to the infinite realities that exist, to which it gets to work weaving the webs of the reality that is based on these dominant thoughts and assumptions. Now, dominant thoughts is obvious, right? It's what you think of dominantly. But what does assumption actually mean? Why is it dominant thoughts and assumptions? An assumption is a thing accepted as true or as certain without proof. So it's the idea that there's no evidence, there's no proof to suggest this thing's truth, but you still allow it to be your truth, essentially. But what is acceptance then? Because obviously it mentions a thing accepted as true. Acceptance is the action of consenting to receiving information or undertaking something offered. So acceptance is you receiving information. An assumption is you accepting something as truth, receiving information as truth without proof. Okay? So that essentially means that your reality is made up of what you consent yourself to receive without proof, the information you accept yourself to receive. So looping it back to the beginning, your reality is created by your dominant thoughts, the things you think, and your assumptions, the things that you accept as truth without evidence or without proof of it being so. Therefore, meaning that your 3D reality does not create itself. It doesn't recreate itself. What creates it is where you go up here, your thoughts and your assumptions. Now, being that an assumption is something without proof, this doesn't mean that the things that you can create must use this 3D reality as a reference point. Let me repeat that. This means that what you can create does not mean you have to use this 3D reality as a reference point, because an assumption is something you accept as true without proof. Okay? So this means that it doesn't have to be on the external. If you think it, it can be true. So if your reality is created by nothing but thoughts, and you can change your thoughts at any given moment, and you don't need your 3D reality to back whatever it is that you're thinking, that therefore means that your reality can be created to match anything that you think, regardless of what is in front of you. Now, if that doesn't explain why circumstances don't matter, don't fret, because we still have a lot more to go. But to me, if I was hearing that for the first time, that would click for me why circumstances don't matter. Because if the 3D reality doesn't validate what you're thinking, and you can still create even without said validation, that means the reality can be whatever you make it, regardless of what is in front of you. Whether there's obstacles, or whether your person's just being a little shit stick. Doesn't matter, you can still have it. But for those of you who still need a little bit more convincing or a little bit more explaining, let's get into it. How does the subconscious mind actually operate? I'm not sure if you can see me very well, so I'm just going to move the camera. I have to do it the other way because you need to see the writing. And usually I'd have it front facing so I'd actually be able to see me. So fuck knows. Your subconscious mind is a good way that I can describe this with a logical way of thinking. Your subconscious mind is kind of like the guys in the stock room when you go to like a warehouse or a shop or something like that. They have no clue what's going on at the front of store. The front of store, in this case the conscious mind, could go back room to the subconscious mind and say, hey, we need 1,000 CDs. That back of store, they don't go to the front and go, let me see the evidence. It says, shit, let me get those 1,000 CDs for you. Your subconscious mind operates the same way. It does not ever enter the front of house. It does not ever enter your eyes, your ears, your nose, your anything like that to see what is real. It goes, our conscious mind is giving us this information, therefore I have to get to work with it. Obviously, I'll get onto that in a second. So it's fed this information by the front of house, your conscious mind. Okay? Because it doesn't ever see what's in front of you, it has no concept of what is real and what is fake, looping us back to the idea of things accepted as truth without proof. Okay? Because it has no concept of what is real and what is fake, and it can only go back to what our conscious mind thinks and provides it, that loops us back to what your reality is created from and how your reality is made up of what you allow yourself to think. Whatever stories you allow yourself to think will pass on to your subconscious mind for it to get to work on spiritual Wi-Fi. But another thing about your subconscious mind that you need to be aware of and remember, and this will help you understand why circumstances don't matter, is it has no concept of past, present, and future. As you see here, I've got them all linked. What this means is anything that you are thinking, whether it's a memory, whether it's a future vision, whether it's something that's going on right now, your subconscious mind takes in as truth right this moment. I've put here in brackets core beliefs. And this is just to give you a little bit of an explanation about why that's the case. When you were a kid, you may have, this won't be for everyone obviously, but it's just a good example, you may have found yourself needing to fight for your father's attention. And due to that, you now feel like you don't get love unless you do more things. Why then would this be the case even now when you may be 20, 30, 40 years older? Why are you still experiencing that pattern despite the fact that your father may be long gone from your life right now? You may be best friends now. You may have resolved all of this between the two of you. Why are you still experiencing this pattern? It's because of this core belief. It's because your subconscious mind has taken in the events of your childhood, stored that information. And even though this may be 20, 30, 40 years in the past, because your subconscious mind only operates in the present moment, whenever it feels a dynamic even slightly similar to the way that you and your dad may have had, for example, adoration for them, wanting their validation, having a severe love for them, things like that, you will find yourself repeating the same patterns. because your subconscious mind is not seeing the child version of you experiencing something and the now version of you experiencing something. It is saying we're all currently experiencing everything at the same time that we dominantly reside in or we assume to be true, in this case, the core belief being the assumption. Okay, so that's just to explain a little bit about core beliefs. Obviously, again, it's something I could go into that would take ages, but the reason why that is important is because everything is happening to your subconscious mind right now. So if you're telling yourself that you are living a reality that you think is 10 years in the future, if you're residing in it in this present moment, it has no choice but to take that in as present moment. Therefore, going all the way back to here without over repeating myself, taking in what you assume to be true without proof to create your reality with. Okay? So it doesn't have to be something that's going on right now. Logically, it could be something that you're thinking is 10 years down the line. But if you're residing in it as if it's happening right now, your subconscious mind has no choice but to take that in and go, cool, this is my truth. I'm going to start getting to work making it happen. Another way why your circumstances don't matter. And again, that will come up later. But since your subconscious mind knows nothing else, the second you change your thinking, you change your reality. So again, going back to all of this stuff up here, your reality is based on nothing but your thoughts. It's not based on the physical matter in front of you that's going to keep looping. It's based on what you allow yourself to think, what you allow yourself to assume, and what you allow yourself to accept. So because of that, circumstances don't matter, because the second you change your thinking, you change your reality. Your reality may not necessarily change immediately, but the second you change your thinking, you can know that you are creating a new reality to match that. Because your reality is created by nothing but your thoughts, and you can change your thinking at any given moment, you are then going to change your reality using said information. But let me give you a little bit of a demonstration / diagram of why that may be the case. So we've got here, what does this mean then? Down here, we have Mr. Middle Ground, not smiley, not sad face. And as you'll see that I've got here, perception. Because the reality doesn't recreate itself, what you accept as true is what recreates it or creates a new version of it. This person chooses the outcome he wants to experience based on his perception. So let's say, for example, you've been fired from your job, okay? You have a choice in any given moment. It may not feel like it, you may have an immediate knee-jerk reaction, but you do have a choice in any given moment about what you do with that information, and that's what will impress your subconscious mind with whatever it is that you choose. So, Mr. Middle Ground Man's been fired. He has a choice about how he takes this and where he lets his reality go from here. If he chooses a negative, i.e., oh my God, I've been fired, this means all these negative things, I'm going to lose my house, I'm going to lose my wife, I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose that. He's negatively impressing his subconscious mind more because his subconscious mind goes without evidence of it. He hasn't lost his wife yet, he hasn't lost his house yet, he hasn't lost anything yet besides his job, but yet he's assuming it to be the case even without proof. Therefore, negatively impressing his subconscious mind with that story, which will then lead to that outcome, or an outcome done similar to that. Or does he look at it in a happy way, i.e., I finally have the freedom to pursue that passion. I finally have the freedom to freely search for new jobs without feeling guilty about leaving my co-workers behind. I finally get to spend more time with my kids, for example. May not necessarily be the best of situations for him, but by thinking new thoughts, let's say this opens me up to getting an even higher paying job, by allowing himself to accept that without proof, once again, he hasn't got those new jobs yet, but he's allowing himself to think it and assuming it to be true, without proof, creating assumptions, he then positively impresses his subconscious mind, which leads to that outcome. So if your thoughts create your reality, and at any given moment you have a choice regardless of what's in front of you, regardless of obstacles, regardless of the 3D outcome that plays out in front of you, your reality is created by the things that you accept without proof, i.e. the things that you're thinking up here, regardless and independent from the 3D reality. Your circumstances don't matter because you can choose new thoughts, therefore choose a new reality, therefore creating it. And what is in front of you right now means jack shit because it's not your thoughts. Your thoughts are the only thing that matter in this scenario. But as you'll see here, this arrow leads to this, but this arrow leads to this. So what I want to do is I want to address this first and then get onto this. So this is coming from the all existing now. This is going to address the obstacle sides of circumstances don't matter. The side of you guys that are thinking, yeah, that's great, I understand like whatever you've just said, but I'm not dealing with something coming up in front of me, I'm dealing with obstacles within my mind, okay? Your subconscious mind takes a snapshot, for want of a better term, of whatever you are feeding it through your thoughts. It doesn't say, oh, okay, you're telling us that we're in a relationship, but have we even texted Deborah yet? Has Deborah said, oh, I'm interested in you? Have you asked her on a date? Have you gone on a date? Has there been chemistry? Oh, there was a bit rocky that last Sunday where she didn't text you. Don't know if I'm going to create it. Your subconscious mind doesn't do that. And why doesn't it do that? Operates in the existence now. Meaning that if you're feeding it the story of having whatever it is that you want to have, it assumes it's here now, and therefore all of those things that I just listed are already done. They're already been experienced because you're in this now. This means then, well, this is one of the reasons why I always recommend to go in the present moment as opposed to I will be rich or or I will have this or something like that. And it's also why I recommend not going in steps, because you may manifest each step, but then you have to keep going with each step as you go along. If you go straight to this and the snapshot of the end state, it will work it out for you because it assumes it's already the case. Okay? So that must mean that obstacles don't exist then, right? If your reality is created by what you assume to be true without proof, and in this instance is taken in the mental snapshot of that state where the obstacles have already been overcome, because in order for you to experience that reality, whatever it is that you're claiming, there must be no obstacles in front of you, right? Or at least those obstacles have been overcome. In order for that snapshot to be taken into consideration, it's existing right now, and your reality is created without proof. Therefore, you don't need proof that the obstacles can be overcome. All you need to do is show your subconscious mind the story of the obstacles having already been overcome because you have what it is that you want to experience. Your subconscious mind assumes success, thus creates image by all means necessary, no matter what stands in its way. It goes, oh, we have this image, me in a loving relationship with my person, therefore the distance, overcome. Therefore the family arrangements, overcome. Therefore the blocking on Instagram, overcome. In order for this image to be what my conscious mind is feeding me, because everything is true right now to subconscious mind, obstacles do not exist. Okay? And then that leads me into a little bit of a recap. Why do circumstances not matter then? Everything is based on perception. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is based on what you do out here in terms of what's in existence. Everything is based on your mindset and the way that you go about things, what you assume to be true, whether or not you believe you can get things done, how you assume they think of you, all of these kinds of things. Your reality is created by your perception, your thoughts and your assumptions. And remember, assumptions, as it says over here, is what you accept as truth without evidence or proof. Okay? Obstacles don't exist due to the snapshot that your subconscious mind takes in, that mental snapshot. If you're residing in an end result of it being done, all the obstacles have already been overcome. And because your subconscious mind assumes that everything is happening right now, it assumes we're in this relationship, therefore any obstacles that are in the way are overcome, and your subconscious mind, being the infinite power source that connects itself to infinite realities that have infinite possibilities, there are many, many, many examples or infinite realities that contain what it is that you want to experience. So to your subconscious mind, it's just the same as you going onto Google and typing in big lovely house. And it comes up with Google images and you can select any one of these houses and see it. Your subconscious mind essentially does the same thing with realities, but instead of seeing it, you experience it. It goes, oh, we're in a relationship. Let me just pull up my infinite reality Google and see a reality in which I'm in a relationship with this person. oh, there's literally billions because there's infinite realities, and infinite realities meaning infinite outcomes. Let me just make any one of them happen. And to your subconscious mind, it is that easy once being fed the right story by your conscious mind. You are the operant power with the power to decide your outcome and your choices. Again, and I'm going to repeat it over and over to really drill it in your head. An assumption is a thing accepted without proof. Your subconscious mind only operates in the present moment. You have complete control over what you think. You are in control of your mind. Even though it may seem difficult at times, you are in control of your mind. And what you need to understand at the deepest level is that once you gain control, getting a bit excited, once you gain control of your mind enough to make the right choices, you are showing your subconscious mind new outcomes that will lead to new impressions that will lead to new outcomes. Therefore, meaning that circumstances really don't matter. You are the operant power, as it says just here. Oh, I rubbed it out. You decide the outcome and the choices that you make. Now, the only reason why the reality that you're experiencing is the way it is, because obviously chances are you didn't want it to be this way. You wouldn't want the obstacles. You wouldn't want the negative circumstance. Is because your reality is based on old thoughts, old feelings, old actions that become today's reality. So this may have been when you were accepting those fears, even without the proof of them being true. This may have been when you had allowed negative choices in the face of adversity or in the face of obstacles and allowed them to create negative impressions. There's meant to be a road, by the way. I don't know if you guys could tell that. Therefore, creating negative outcomes. Your old thoughts, feelings, and actions are your today's reality. Now, once again, if your reality is based on nothing more than your dominant thoughts and your assumptions being what you accept without proof of being true, the feelings that you feel are based on things that you assume either based on no proof or what you've chosen to negatively or positively feel. Therefore, if you change today's thinking, today's feelings, and today's actions, your future reality will be today's feelings, thoughts, and actions. Because you make choices, you accept things without truth, you create the outcomes. Your subconscious mind only operates in the present moment, and it essentially takes a mental snapshot of whatever it is that you're claiming to be true and saying, if this is true, let me make it happen. If you change the way that you think, the way that you react, the way that you feel, and the way that you act toward whatever is in front of you, whether it's adversity, obstacles, opposite manifesting, anything like that, your future reality has nothing else to go on but the thoughts, feelings, and actions that you reside in. Now, obviously, I know that I've mentioned a lot about thoughts here today, and then all of a sudden I'm throwing feelings and actions in. The way that you perceive things to be dictates your feelings. Emotions, by their own, do not exist. An emotion is nothing more than a reaction to a perceived story. Whether it's good or bad, it's some kind of perceived story. Excitement is you looking forward to events. Sadness is you looking back at events. Emotions, by their own, don't really exist. They're based on perceived stories. Okay? Actions are based on whatever you think and feel to act upon. The physical reaction to those perceptions. So, in essence, your thoughts still create your reality. I'm just throwing feelings and actions in there just to show you that you can still do negatively desperate, chasey actions, and that will still come under because of the mindset behind why you're doing it. So I really hope this video has helped. If it has, be sure to drop the like button and comment the like button. Be sure to hit the like button and comment down below, letting me know if you like this kind of video. If you did, more than happy to do more of this kind of style with the whiteboard, with the little arrows and the diagrams and the stuff. You can tell it's late. But if you have enjoyed it, if this made sense, if this set your mind at ease, and if this gave you clarity, be sure to let me know down below. One thing I do want to say as well, just before I end off, I don't ever plan my videos. I will kind of get an idea of what I want to talk about, and then I'll just sit in front of the camera and talk because it's just all off the dome knowledge. This is the first ever time I've actually planned out my things. If I'm not mistaken, in the previous one where I spoke about the infinite realities, I'm pretty sure I was writing it as I went along. I was drawing the circles and stuff as I went along. This is the first time that I've actually kind of planned it out And because of that, it's a bit different for me. And my mind usually works by kind of just going from one thing to the another in a more sort of natural way. So if you've liked this style, where I've actually mapped it and followed a tangible line, let me know. If you liked the style, but you think it would have been better if I kind of wrote it as I was talking, let me know. Because I like this, I want to do more, but there's no point me doing it if you think it all shit. But thank you so much for joining today on this video. Please drop me a like and a comment, because obviously it took a lot of effort. I really wanted to make this good for you. If you are in need of any of my help, my website is linked down below in the link tree. And if you want to join my membership, which is only £6 per month, and it includes the full Manifest Your X-Back guide, which is a steal for only £6 per month, because most other coaches are charged like 40, 50 and above. Down below in the link tree is also the links to my membership. So thank you so much for being here today, and I'll catch you amazing people in the next one. Bye-bye.